Oh, well, good morning, guys. We've got all of our potatoes dug up, well, at least out of that one little field. And next morning, we're going to go ahead and first thing we're going to do is pick up some eggs. So these chickens have been hard at work, and we're going to need to pick these eggs up. So we've got an order for about 50 eggs to be delivered down to the no, down at the brewery. So go ahead and pick up as many eggs as we can here and see how quick we can satisfy that request for eggs. They seem to put them underneath this sledge. Hard to get to. And then once we get these eggs picked up, we're going to go ahead and pick up our telehandler and go on over to the farm there where our potatoes are. We had the shop deliver for us a bucket for our telehandler, and also went ahead and asked them to deliver the conveyor belt. And then we went over and picked up the tipper module with our tractor late last night. So we have got everything all set and ready for us to get to picking these potatoes up off the fields. So it's an exciting day. Gonna first pick up, as I said yesterday, we're gonna pick the potatoes up off of the outside edge of the field with the bucket here. And once we get that cleared out, we will clear out a little space that we have a little bit of working room to get into the field with our two tractors, our conveyor belt, and our tipper trailer. And then we're going to see if we can't bring somebody in to help us run the tipper as we run the conveyor belt to basically run around and pick up the potatoes. And now I've been thinking, trying to figure out where we're going to store these potatoes. Of course, we've got the root storage way down on the southeast of town, or of the valley. And we've also got our pig farm, which is down on the southwest corner of the valley. So, not really sure where we're going to take these, but I'm thinking that we're going to take at least a couple loads of these potatoes over to directly over to the pig farm, and probably just tip them into a building over there for now. Our conveyor belt, and right in front of us we already have our tipper already set up where we put our digger. Go ahead and start here and just kind of open up a space. I have to say, I'm not really sure how much our bucket here is going to hold. Hoping that we can get some distance around the field before it's full. Oh yeah, that's not too bad. Worried we would fill the bucket up so quick that we'd have to make like 12 trips with the bucket just to pick these up. Empty them on the ground. We will come back and pick these up that we missed here. I think there's a bit of a bump on the ground. See? We're going to be able to pick up that much with the bucket. I think we might go ahead and pick up 2 rounds and just open up the field all that much more. Just to make sure that we can easily get around the field with our conveyor belt and our tipper. I did not know what our yield would be on this thing to know how much of this we could pick up. I think 3 or 4 buckets isn't too terrible much to ask of the telehandler to pick up these, open the field up. In fact, I think the way its trailer is filling up here, that 3 or 4 buckets may actually fill the trailer. Bit of a lip here, I think. Can't get these. Probably come at it from a little bit different angle. We'll probably be able to pick those up. I think one more bucket will, hopefully one more bucket will get us. So we've got this field over here, which I think is a little bit bigger than this field. But then again, if it takes all of the late summer to pick up these 2 fields of potatoes, well, that's fine. It's fine with me. I think this will be the last bit of potatoes that we'll need to harvest on this map, simply because of the amount that our pigs are going to consume. And of course, we'll probably sell some loads, get a really decent price on them. Let's go ahead and back up, and can't pick up these little bit of potatoes here. Well, it looks like we're going to have another load. Probably not a full load, but whatever it takes to open up this field You know, we don't want to be trampling or driving our potatoes back into the ground after we took all day yesterday to pick them up. Oh, we're full. Gonna have to figure out where to put these potatoes sooner than later, huh? Right, well. Park our telehandler here. And let's go ahead and take a trip on over to the pig farm. And see if we can't figure out where we're going to put these. So guys, through the miracle of editing, discovered a little issue over at the pig farm. We already have taken the trailer over here once and tried to tip it into that storage shelter and discovered that we couldn't tip into there. Not sure why. There must be a no-tip collision. I think that might be the right terminology. But basically we couldn't force unload in the in either side of the storage shed. So then we tried, just out of curiosity, we tried to tip the potatoes into the silo, and that didn't work. That is over there. So we were kind of at a loss as to what to do. One thing I had thought about doing earlier, and just not mentioned it while we were picking up the potatoes, was to use a conveyor belt, the potato boxing conveyor belt, and to basically crate these potatoes and store them in crates. But I decided that we would just use the root crop storage building. So we have purchased and installed the root crop storage building over here. So let's go ahead and take a look. And I have to say, the lay of the land over here was really not very helpful with respect to placing this placeable. Not want to put it in the grass field, so we put it right beside the grass field, right here. Let's go ahead and one out, and here it is. We're just going to put this in here. Go. Tip out will be over here. This side. I can kind of sneak through, I think, over here and fill our potatoes that way. So that's kind of what the plan's going to be. And let's go ahead and head on back. Check that silo out there a little bit, because I was talking with the map, we call him a map editor, map author, map converter. He basically brought this map forward from Farm Sim, maybe it was Farm Sim 11? Or Farm Sim, I don't think he was in Farm Sim 13, I think that he was saying it came over from Farm Sim 11. And he mentioned something about a pig food silo with the pig area that dispenses pig food. So I'm kind of thinking maybe that little silo there by the food trough is a pig food silo. We were going to feed our pigs everything individually, but I may want to draw a little bit of pig food out of there just to see and kind of verify some curiosity to see if that's indeed what that is. Go ahead and bring this back over here. Might as well just park it here. Run over here and pick up our telehandler again. We're gonna finish picking up some of the potatoes around the field. And then we will bring out the conveyor belt and see how that thing works. Really curious to see how that works. The conveyor belt, that is. Nice potatoes here. So it's there. We shouldn't be driving over our potatoes. I'm sure that's not very good, but just do it anyway. Picking up the last bit of potatoes. We're on the fringe of the field. Looks like we're getting a pretty good yield out of this thing. That's for sure. We may want to, depending on how our conveyor, how high our conveyor is, we may actually need to trade our tipper in for a bigger unit, or we're going to be making I don't know how many trips over to our root crop storage. Could have obviously probably have put our potatoes in the root crop storage building, which is down in the southeast corner of the map, but it just seemed like a really long drive every couple days to get potatoes for our pigs. I really wanted to store them down at the pig farm, if at all possible. A little bit more to go. So we need to do another load. I'm excited to try this conveyor belt. I don't know about you guys, but I'm excited to try this thing out. Do a little unrealistic backwards potato picking up. And since we've got room in the bucket, let's go ahead and pick up little fringes here. Be a little bit easier to get around the edges of the field. All right. That is it. Now we're going to whip out this conveyor. See how things work. I'll be right back with you guys once we get the this emptied. Dumping you on the ground. We're gonna go empty our tipper again, and we'll be right back, and we'll have our conveyor belt all set up and ready to try it out. Alright guys, so the first thing you'll probably notice is we've got a different tipper. And that is because the other tipper we had was too tall. So it wouldn't fit under our conveyor here. So we were pretty much stuck with needing to swap out our tipper. So we did swap that out. Got this red Marston tipper that we're going to be using. And got follow me working here. Oh, well, this is going to work. These trees here. Sounds pretty good. So we've got follow me working here with an offset. And basically I have it set to follow at 0 distance behind. And I think 3.5 meters to the 3.5 meter offset. Let's just go ahead and pick this row up here. So this conveyor is pretty cool. It obviously picks the potatoes up and deposits them in the tipper that's beside us. And shockingly enough, follow me seems to be working fairly well. So are able to do this job single-handed. I was worried that follow me wouldn't work very well, and we would need to bring in do like a multiplayer session with this. Kind of only I say worried, but I was less worried that it would be hard, more worried that it would then delay my production of the video than anything else. So seems to be working quite nicely, actually. Able to pick these potatoes up without too much hassle at all. We'll need to keep an eye on the trailer. This particular tipper does have a slightly lower capacity than the other tipper did. But overall, it seems to be working very, very nicely. And a follow me driver seems to be anticipating or matching my steering inputs quite nicely. Conveyor, as I said, is picking things up fairly well. Let's see if we can't zoom in on this process a little bit. Overall, this is a pretty slick mod. The potato conveyor can be found in the in-game mod hub. I don't know where I got the tippers from. The tippers may be in-game, or they may be from FS UK. Doesn't look like this is going to take too terrible long to finish out. Let's need to swing around here so that we're not driving on our potatoes. We're full. Turn that off. Turn off follow me. Go dump this. Well, it says 16,000, but in the store it said it's had a 14,000 capacity. Take a look. Right here, this says, oh, it says 16. Okay. This one would obviously be way too tall. I'm right, 16. Same capacity as the other trailer. I was looking at these, the Massey Pack, but they're too small. That would be too large. So, I had this bigger Metal Tech, but it was 14,000. And we of course had these. These would have probably worked, but they had smaller capacities. So what we'll do is we're going to close this out with a. I'm going to close this out right now, and as we drive over here to dump this in our root crop storage. This is the third load. Well, third and a bit. We had a wee little bit of potatoes in that other tipper before we had to get rid of it. But this is definitely our third full load. So guys, I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it rather interesting potato harvesting. The last two episodes. Something a little bit different than the normal in-game potato harvesters. And you know, if it takes me 8 game days to harvest potatoes, it doesn't really matter. The only thing I've got going on is either potato harvesting or forestry. That's my only goal until autumn hits. Once autumn hits, the grass that we planted should be at full growth, I hope. We should have some wheat and barley fields ready to come in. Then we'll have straw to bale, we'll have hay to bale, we'll have lots of stuff to do once autumn hits. So if this takes me, the way it's going, it looks like it's going to take me probably another 3 days to finish the potatoes out. So 5 out of 8 days to do potatoes. Leaves me 3 days to do logging. Not a big deal. It's not really. It doesn't really matter to me. Not that I hate it. It's just other stuff I'd rather do. Pretty cool. Pretty cool animation. I like how that, see how that bar is connected to the frame on both sides, and then as the pistons lift the thing up, the bar obviously stays stays the same length, and as a result of it lifting up, it opens up the rear gate. Pretty, that trailer. So guys, if you liked the video, please consider clicking the like button. If you are not subscribed and you're interested in how we're going to do here on Churn Farms 24-day seasons, you're interested in maybe being a little bit different way of harvesting and farming. You know, the thing that 24-day seasons play affords you is time. Not rushed around, not needing to feel like you need to get stuff done as fast as possible, so you can kind of afford to use some of the eclectic stuff that you may normally just pass off as something for somebody else to use. So I encourage you to check out PCSG and the 3 Dudes Gaming Network. Those are two great web communities also. PCSG and 3 Dudes have open multiplayer servers for members. The multiplayer servers are geared towards adults, and not with respect to language, but with respect to gameplay. If you're looking for, in particular, over 3 Dudes multiplayer server, you're looking to possibly play with adults that are not not going to put you down. They're not going to have rude language. And go ahead and check that out. I do streaming of the Three Dudes multiplayer server every Saturday night. So it's your chance to come out and play with some folks. Play with maybe some YouTube folks. Me, Grizzly Bear Sims, Doug Sorley, Eustace Farmer are all members over at Three Dudes. So this is the other problem. The conveyor was just a little bit longer. On. Get your dose of comedy here. Sure. On the kind of wish the conveyor was a little bit taller. Alright, with that, I'm going to continue the harvest, and we'll talk to you later. Till next time, happy farming.